Good morning, everybody. All right, let's hop back into kvCORE. Let me share my screen real quick and we will get started. All right, log into your kvCORE. Today's topic is going to be how to respond to leads, where to see them, and then of course, I'm going to show you how to add them. So let's start with adding a lead first. So say you had somebody that you met at an open house or just somebody that you happen to know. You can do quick actions, add contact. You can go in and put their name. I'm just going to add me right now so you guys can see what this looks like. I'm going to use my husband's last name because I'm sure I'm in here already. salesnc@gmail.com. And then I'm just going to put in a random phone number so that it has something in there. I'm going to say, yes, I have permission to text, call, and email. Put any information we have, put in my old address. We no longer live there. I'm going to put whether it's a buyer, seller, renter, vendor, or agent. So I'm going to pretend this is a buyer, new lead. So have I talked to this person or not is the biggest question. If I've never talked to this person before, you want to do new lead. It's going to start those campaigns that we set up earlier. Now, if you've talked to this person and you're just putting them in, we're going to do active lead because we've already talked to them and we don't want it to message them as if we've never talked to them. So I'm going to do active lead, the lead source. If you want to add that, you can. Who owns it, whether it's you or a team member. And then you can add any campaigns if you want. The next step is going to be add contact. And I will show you what that looks like here in just a second. I'm going to pull me up and we will go through adding a couple different things here. Hold on 1 moment. It's being a little slow this afternoon. All right, we're going to do Timothy. I'm going to bring up my profile. So I always suggest you put yourself in your kvCORE so you know what it's sending out to people because it really does help. So I'm going to go in and grab me. And as you can see, this is, I bought a house with our team. So I am in here as a closed contact. But every time I go in and do this, I'm sending myself emails as if I was if I was in here doing it to myself. So want you to go in and see, what property they came in on, what they were looking at, and then you go in and set them on property alerts. So we're going to click alerts at the top. So if someone came through kvCORE, realtor.com, whatever, you know what they're looking at. You have 3 days to go ahead and set them up on a search. If you don't, kvCORE was going to do it for you. The way you can tell a kvCORE did one for you is it's going to have weird numbers. I would never put in 266, 720. That's just a really weird number. So obviously I didn't set the search up. kvCORE saw that I was searching and said, you know what, we're going to put you on a search. But if you know what that person's looking for, you can go in and say, okay, this person's looking in Raleigh. They're looking at 266 to 400, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. This is a really narrow search. Let's widen it up to see if we can get this person to respond to us. So I'm going to go in and change this to the county instead of the city. So I'm going to take out Raleigh and we're going to do Wake County. I'm going to change my frequency to twice weekly because I don't want to bombard them every day until they've responded to me. Once they've responded to me and we've identified their search, then we can set them up on a more active search. This is a passive search. So we're going to email them twice a week. We're going to change this number. We're just going to say this person's looking in the 250,000 range to $350,000 range. Try and keep it within $150,000 because most people are looking like that. I will tell you, in our area, we're on a mainly septics. There may be homes that have rooms that could be used as a 4th bedroom, but most are going to be labeled as a 3-bedroom. So I'm going to lower this down to 3-bed, 2-bath, just so that we don't miss anything that these people might be looking for, because we want to make sure that they see it. And then you can go in and you can add any other criteria you want. Again, I haven't talked to this person. I don't really know what they're looking for. So I want to be very broad with this. So I'm just going to update this alert. So you can do it where you save and send it immediately, or you can just update the alert. Either way, this is where you would click those buttons and then that would save them so that they are getting sent searches. Now, say that this lead just came through, you had a moment, you talked to them, you're going to click new call. So you can do where you call, if you call new call, you can call now and it will ring to your phone and kvCORE will connect you with that person, and they will document that call through your kvCORE. So it almost acts as a dialer for you. But what I want to do is I'm going to say, I already picked up the phone. I already talked to this person. I'm going to log the call. So I'm going to go outbound and say, spoke with Timothy, looking for blah, 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 in whatever area. And you're going to notate that just like you worked in a doctor's office, because this is going to be your friend when you go back in. Say you haven't talked to this person for a couple of months, but you see them actively on your website. You can go back in and say, well, I spoke to them on this date. I followed up on this time. And you're really able to document that. Another way that you're able to document that is by adding a note. So say that they come in and they say they're working with a real estate agent. Okay, that's great. Who is your real estate agent? I'm going to put a note on here who they're working with. If they don't know who their real estate agent is, they probably haven't signed anything with anybody. So I always ask, have you signed any buyer's agency agreements on top of that? Because some people just say, yeah, I'm working with somebody, just so that you don't email them. So you may still want to follow up with them and send them houses throughout their process. But that way, and then say they know who they're working with, they've signed somebody. You can put a note on here of who they're working with, at what firm. And then instead of deleting them, archive them. So you can go in and move to archive. And what that's going to do when you archive a lead is it's going to save all their information. It's going to save all your notes. It's going to save your history. So if they end up coming back to your website in 2 or 3 months, say they didn't like the realtor they were with, or they just like our website better, you're going to know when they come through as a new lead again that, hey, I've already talked to this person. They were already working here and there. And then you can have another conversation with them and kind of really figure out what's going on there with their situation. And you're documenting it. So you're not just winging it. We really want to document as much as we can here. Some other cool things that you have in here is you can add campaigns. So you have the search alerts, we have the campaigns that we did, but you can also do market reports. So if you want to add this person on a market report where they're getting an email every 28 days, this is where you do it. So I'm in 27591, so I'm going to get an email every 28 days for that market report, and it's going to tell me what's going on in the area. If you have somebody's zip code or email address, absolutely add them to this if you can get their permission, because it is phenomenal. If you are going in for a listing valuation, you can add the numbers there. You can do seller reports if they're a seller. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can go and do here, and I'm going to touch on that in mini series so I don't overwhelm you. But this is where you're going to find all of that fun stuff. So that is how you're going to find your leads. So Smart CRM, that's going to bring all of your leads into one spot where you can search them. Yours should have all contacts and my contacts. It should be the same. Mine are going to look a little funny because I'm filtering through 2,700 leads over my 5 agents that are on our team. So it will just be you on your individual kvCORE. Mine's a little bit different since we're a team. But this is where you're going to see those leads, and you're going to see when they were on last, and you're going to have a lot of good information. I highly suggest playing with your dashboard. You need to be in here 2 to 3 times a day looking at your leads. So you want to see who is on here. So we saw that Gwendolyn has been actively looking at 174 West Olive Road. Our goal is going to be to get an appointment with her. So I need to call Gwendolyn and say, hey, Gwen, I see you're looking at this property. It looks like it meets all your criteria of what you're looking for. 279.9, 3-bed, 1.5 bath. Do you want to set an appointment to see it? I'm available this time. And give them, be assertive, be on top of it, really get in front of these people. You also want to make sure you're looking at your new text and new emails, because as someone texts you, it may come through your kvCORE if they're responding to the automated system. Now you'll see I had one person that said, I'm searching for something I can use as an Airbnb. Great, that's awesome. Let's educate her on Airbnbs and see what exactly she's looking for. What is her style? What areas? So we can kind of go in and respond to her. So you want to make sure you're in here every day to see who's talking. Obviously, you're going to get a lot of stops. Now, if someone says stop, unsubscribe, they're unsubscribing to our automated system. My first reaction of when somebody says unsubscribe or stop is I pick up the phone and I call them and I say, I am so sorry. Our automated system can be a little extra sometimes. Did you want to unsubscribe? Are you interested in receiving just houses? I can turn off the text message part, but I can still send you property searches. What exactly are you looking for? Sometimes they're going to say, no, I meant to unsubscribe, remove me from all your lists. Fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to notate that in my system. I'm going to log that call, and then I'm going to archive them, because these people will come back as a new lead eventually. They always do. So notate what their reason for unsubscribing was, or resubscribe them if it was just they didn't want to get texted. So just remove those texting campaigns and then go in and get them rolling. But you always want to follow up with a phone call when somebody unsubscribes. And you want to make sure you're paying attention to this. Same thing with the new emails. You want to make sure you're going in and seeing who is responding to your emails, because everyone's going to say what's going on here. And then every day you want to check your hot leads. Hot leads are the ones that have been on your website the most recently and the properties that they're looking at. So this is where I can go in and say, Zandra, you were looking at the Wolf Tech Lane. Let's schedule an appointment to go look at it. Michelle, you were looking at Tree Line. That one just went under contract, but there's another one 2 streets over. Did you want to see that one? So you can go in and kind of do all of that and really work your people. You can go in too and see what are your hot properties. Is there a specific property that seems to be a trend that everybody's looking at? Now, I don't see very many other than Treeline, and this one in Cloverdale seems to be multiple people in our sphere are looking at the same house. And that's definitely ones when I see that, that's usually a property that I want to say, okay, let me reach out to that listing agent and ask if I can share it. Because if it's getting traction within my kvCORE, you see there's actually 3. So there's 3 people that looked at that one particular house. I want to see, obviously its location and price. It's $264 and it's in Clayton. This is a great property to share and really get out there in front of the rest of your sphere. So absolutely go ahead and do that too. So reach out to those people, build those squeeze pages that we taught you on our last segment. So that's where you're going to see a lot of those activities and fun stuff like that. Now, once you start funneling leads into your kvCORE, you're going to be like, okay, well, where are my leads coming from? I want to track this. So in the bottom, you're going to have business analytics. So you can go into your business analytics and you can see everybody who's on your team. May not have a team, sorry, but we're going to go to source performance. So go out of pipeline into source performance. So this is going to show you how many leads you're bringing in and from where they're going. So this is why it was really important to label your different squeeze pages that you were doing for each listing or anything like that. If you're having kvCORE, realtor.com, this is where you're going to see how many have come in the last month versus the last 7 days. You can even go 6 months out. So you can go in the last 6 months and see out of all of these sources, and obviously this wasn't all my sources. You need to go through this list and select them all. But just the sources I have selected, you can see where we're doing the best and try and consistently do more of that. So I had one property that brought in 30 leads. That was a great listing. We need to find more listings like that to share to really boost our traffic on our website and get more leads. So that's kind of where you can see where your leads are going. But really play around in your CRM. Make sure you're following up with people. Make sure that you're in there daily, kind of doing all that. Next, I'm going to go over mass texting and emailing. So say you have a new property come out, you want to text it to everybody. You could go in, select everybody in your kvCORE, do mass text, and then you could make actual canned responses if you want. But for this one, I would just say, hey, I have an open house this Saturday from 12 to 2. Would love it if you stopped by. And then you could add the MLS number and do send listing link and send all of those people in your kvCORE that are subscribed a text message that says, hey, we're doing an open house this weekend. Here's a link to the house. Join us from 12 to 2. It's going to send the address and the link to your website and everything. So it's another way to stay in front of your people. You can also go in and search your filters. You can go in and say, people who have property interest in the Ainger area. So I only want to message my Ainger buyers. I don't want to message anybody else. So that will go in and grab just the Ainger people. And then you're able to go in and mass email or text them. So I'm going to go in and do a mass email. So I'm going to click on advanced editor because I feel like the advanced actually gives you more information. So with the advanced editor, we are going to go in and just throw in an image here. You can do a picture of the house. I'm just going to throw anything in there just so you can kind of see it. We did a first-time home buyer thing. So you could do a first-time home buyer seminar, and then you could go in and put the text for, when that is. So you're going to say when it is, and then we're going to add a button. And the button is just going to be RSVP now. So I'm going to change this RSVP now. And then I'm going to go to wherever website I'm having them RSVP to. I'm going to copy and paste that link right there. And then I can put in the subject line and press send. And it is as easy as that. Some of the other cool things that you can do with it is you can do dynamic content. Now, I will say the dynamic content, you can go in and do like a schedule a showing. You could do triple image row. So you have 3 images that will populate from your listing. And to do that, you just have to put in the MLS number right here and it will populate. Now it's not going to populate any of the information until you press the send button. So you're not going to be able to see the photos that it's choosing for your client. It's just going to choose the first 3. So just keep that in mind if you're doing any listings that you're not doing anything wrong. You just can't do it through here where you're going to preview it. So you can press send and then you would have that sent out to all of your people. So this is a great way to stay in front of people. I absolutely suggest if you have an open house or you have a new listing, reach out to these people, stay in front of them, call them constantly, email them, text them until they don't want to talk to you anymore. And then ask, are you sure? Because these people are coming to you, they're putting their name in a website. They want real estate advice. So let's give it to them. So hopefully this helps with this version of the kvCORE training. We'll see you for our next one here shortly. Thanks. Bye, guys.